Yo, everybody. So several years ago, I made a video on some different tips, tricks, and hacks on how to use a Presta valve for inflating your bicycle tires. Honestly, the video just turned into a kind of a crazy comparison on how Schrader valves are better. So I thought I'd do a video to actually get to the bottom of it and do some comparisons and see which one's better. Get some input from some folks and see which one you like better. So anyway, here I'm removing the valve core of a Schrader valve. I've got one of these little stands tools, and it'll actually remove the valve core of Schrader or Presta valve. That is, if your Presta valve that you have is removable. Most of them these days are, and I would definitely, if you're looking for a Presta tube, I would look for something that is removable. But really the main difference between the two is the Presta valve relies on the air pressure in the tube to hold the little seal in place, where Schrader, uses a little spring inside of there. It's all fine and good. There's this little rubber seal there in the center that basically seals the valve within the stem, I guess you could say. Same thing with Presta, they've got one as well. The main difference is that it's so much easier for this Schrader to clog. So what I mean by clogging is that Schrader valves have a spring inside of the valve core where Presta valves do not. So when you put your whatever you're going to put in there, slime, or honestly, I like the tubeless sealant, it's not going to clog up the valves. So the next thing is, this is kind of a misconception, but Presta valves are narrower. I'm measuring it here. I've got a 5.84. The normal, which you hear, is 6 millimeters, and 8 on Schraders. It's slightly over that, maybe. I don't know, but we can talk about that here in a bit. That Schrader valves do take up more real estate. So just being a bike mechanic for a gazillion years, I found honestly, if a bike comes in either which way, I like dealing with Presta's a little easier because it's easier to let a lot of air out quickly. Like you've got a bead that's coming undone, you need to let some air out quickly. In this case right here, I'm letting the air out of the Schrader pretty quick, but that's because I got kind of a corner fingernail here. But otherwise, you need some kind of something to push on it or something. It comes down to that crunch factor. You need something to let the air out quick. But anyway, here's another downfall of Schrader. It is when you put a new tube in, unless you have something that plugs, clips onto the valve, if you're just using a standard air chuck like this, you got to kind of pinch the tire in to get it in. I kind of do the same thing here with the Presta, but you do have the option of putting the little ring that threads down, and you can push your pump or whatever to inflate it straight on, and works a little better in that regards. Most air pumps that you get at a bike shop today are going to have, they're either they're universal. They'll work with Schrader or Presta. So if you're looking for a pump, I definitely look for this feature. These are some of the ones we use at the shop, the EBT ones that do Presta or Schrader that work really well. So it's pretty much a non-issue to use one or the other at the bike shop. Personally, I prefer, I don't know. I kind of preferred Prestas, but that's just me. Another misconception is drilling out rims, that it's going to be weaker somehow. You need a 21/64 bit if you want to drill it out to a Schrader size, and a lot of folks say, well, that weakens the rim, but honestly, I've never seen a rim fail due to drilling that hole out. But one last kind of little thing is, if I'm on the side of the road, it's definitely easier to inflate a tube, fix a flat there on the side of the road with Presta, with a CO2 dispenser. But anyway, just to wrap it up, Schraders are everywhere. You can air them up at 7-Elevens or whatever, but you know, you can always bring a Presta valve adapter and kind of accomplish the same thing. So anyway, yeah, I'd like to hear what you guys think. Personally, my thought is it's just easier for me to deal with Prestas. I prefer them, but I don't know. I'll hear what you guys have to say, and that's going to do it for this video. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time.